Well, this week we're talking to some of the Citizens of the Year announced last week for the Australia Day ceremonies with the various councils. An opportunity just to celebrate people who've been doing great work in their local communities, in some cases for many years and for decades, and haven't really had much of a chance to say thank you. But this week is a lovely opportunity to do that. Heading into the northwest today and talking to someone who is a very familiar face when it comes to community events and also doing fundraising in the Hughenden community. Congratulations to Stacey McConachy, who was named the Citizen of the Year for the Flinders Shire Council and is with us now. Stacey, welcome to the show and congratulations.
Oh, good morning, Michael. Thank you very much.
What was your reaction when you heard the news that it was going to be you?
Oh, I couldn't believe it. I received the letter in the mail to say that I had been nominated. And I was just blown away with that. It was very humbling just to even receive that in the mail. And then when we went up to the Australia Day Awards, and I was up against two other very worthy people, and when they announced that I was the winner, I just couldn't believe it. It's just wonderful.
Oh, what a wonderful feeling for you. And as you said, you had to come into town for that because you live a fair way out of town. Just explain, because you're on a property, aren't you?
Yes, that's correct. We live 94 kilometres south of Hughenden. So anything that I'm involved in, there's always driving to do. But I don't mind the driving, luckily.
Well, you'd have to, because for a lot of people, they do volunteer, they do a lot of work with community groups, but it might involve them just going, 5 minutes down the road to be a part of that club or group. But for you, it's a real commitment. Where did all of that come from?
I think I've just always been passionate about supporting things for kids. My husband and I have 7 children. And, I've always just felt like it's important to play your part, and especially in smaller townships where there's, smaller populations. I think, it's good if everybody, if possible, can have their turn in helping with these committees just to keep them up and running so that there's stuff for kids in the community to do.
A lot of mums will be listening this morning saying if she's got 7 kids, that's more than enough. That's an incredible amount of work in itself. How do you find the time?
I don't know. I just make time for everything. We just have a calendar and it's got lots of notes on the calendar, and if there's something I'm going to, it just gets written up on the calendar, and then my husband knows I'm not available to help with any cattle work or fencing or what have you that day, and we just work around everything and just make it work.
I'd love to see that sign. It sounds like you've got to make an appointment to see you these days, Stacey.
He says that.
I love the groups that you're a part of too, because they really do connect to your kids and your family, because it might be the school P&C, it might be the swimming club, junior rugby league. Has it been the kids that has got you involved in all of these groups now?
Oh, I think so, definitely. Yeah, that's where it all started. And then, I just saw the flow-on effects that being part of these groups didn't just make them available for my children, but it made them available and possible for all children in the district.
As we know, volunteering is a key to all of our communities. It doesn't matter whether we're talking about cities or whether we're talking about small rural communities. But the smaller the community, is it harder to get the right number of volunteers? I mean, is it a struggle sometimes to make sure you've got people to help out with events?
Yeah, I do think so, yes. And, these days with trying to make ends meet, both mum and dad have got to work, and it's just really hard for some people to have spare time in order to give to community groups. So I think those of us that can do it, it's great because, like I said, it keeps the club going for the children, but then, you learn just how rewarding it is for yourself to be part of these things as well, which is something I didn't expect in the start, but something I've learned.
Yeah, what have you managed to get out of it? Obviously, you're giving a lot to the community, but what do you enjoy about it?
Oh, just seeing the kids coming, building confidence, learning a skill, just seeing them happy, running around playing and we had so for the swim club, for example, we didn't have a pool for a while because it was being refurbished, and just that first club night we had, having our town pool full of kids just laughing and smiling and having a great old time, that just makes it all worthwhile.
You're hearing from Stacey McConachy this morning, the Citizen of the Year in the Flinders Shire Council after the Australia Day Awards last week. Stacey, I hear you're a bit of a whiz when it comes to fundraising as well. What's the secret to getting money out of people?
I think it always helps if you have one of your students. So, for example, when we do fundraising for the school that my children attend, the Cameron Downs State School, I think it always helps if one of your kids are in there helping sell home-baked goods, which people seem to love. And I think when customers come along and they see that your students are actually involved with it as well, because it's great learning for the kids, and just people just seem to enjoy that, and then they always seem to purchase something from you. So I think kids are a good thing to get people attracted over to whatever you're selling, because then they're seeing the children who benefit from the money that they're giving you.
Oh, well, that's helping everyone this morning. So the kids are the key. I can imagine that the home-baked goods are pretty important too. Yummy stuff?
Oh, yes. We get lots of comments. All of our school mums are great cooks, and they all contribute. And, we always get compliments about how great the cooking is. So we all spend a good number of hours in the kitchen getting stuff ready to sell, to make money, to put into the bank account, which then gets spent on resources for the kids at school.
Oh, that is just brilliant. It's been wonderful to find out about the work that you do in the community. It's so important. As I mentioned earlier this morning, during the pandemic, when we couldn't have as many fundraising events or go to so many community events, you didn't slacken off. You were still pretty busy. You did a barista course, I hear.
Yes, I do, which I just sort of fell into. A friend of mine owns a cafe, and she was having trouble getting staff, so I was like, I might be able to help out every now and then, and that sort of turned into 2 days a week working there, and thoroughly love that. That's really great, and I was absolutely terrified of the coffee machine when I first started there, and now, I just love making coffees, and did a course to help me out, so I knew a bit better about what I was doing, and it's I just say those days they're my days. That's something I just do for myself, those couple of days a week. I just find it very rewarding, and I love chatting to people. So the people, come into the cafe and you always have a yarn and whatever. And I think that, I just love it. I just love working there.
They're your days, but there's still days where you're working for other people and giving people wonderful things like coffees. What is the secret to a good coffee? We've been talking about this morning. What's your thought?
Oh, I think you've probably got to be a coffee drinker yourself, and then just, I don't know, probably just do the best job you can.
That works for me. That sounds very, very good indeed. Lovely to talk to you, Stacey. Of course, we've been seeing the shower activity around the region. Has your property had any falls overnight?
Unfortunately, we dipped out a bit last night. There was some good falls around, but we haven't missed out completely. We have had 5.5 inches for this month, so we are coming out of a very long dry spell, 10 years. So it's so just heartwarming and good for the mental health to actually see some lovely green grass for our cattle for the first time in a long time. Oh,
that is great. Let's hope there's some more on the way in the month of February. Stacey McConachy, thank you so much. Congratulations, and thank you for all the work that you do in the community. It's wonderful.
Thank you very much, Michael. Lovely chatting to you.